welcome to the mother continent and cradle of mankind, which is Africa. We all know that Africa is the second largest continent on the earth, and it is also one of the most culturally, ecologically, and geographically diverse. Africa spans a huge geographical area of about 12 million square miles, divided into 54 countries, the most countries of any continent on the earth. It's home to over 3,000 indigenous peoples, over 1,000 languages, and has a total population of 1.1 billion people, and that's roughly 15% of the entire population on Earth. Seychelles is the smallest country, while Algeria is the biggest. But Nigeria is the most populated one. In this video, we'll explore a land filled with music, colors, and beautiful people, which is the beautiful country of Nigeria, also known as the Giant of Africa. The name Nigeria was suggested by a British journalist, Flora Shaw, in the 1890s. She referred to the area as Nigeria after the Niger River, which dominates much of the country's landscape. The word Niger is a Latin word for black. Nigeria is a federal republic, with the president acting as both head of state and head of government. Under the current constitution, presidential elections are to be held every 4 years, with no president serving more than 2 terms in office. The Nigerian legislature consists of 2 houses, a Senate and a House of Representatives. All legislators are elected to 4-year terms. Nigeria's judicial branch is headed by a Supreme Court, whose members were appointed by the Provisional Ruling Council, which ruled Nigeria during its recent transition to democracy. All Nigerians over 18 are eligible to vote. The main national symbol is the country's flag. Nigeria's flag is divided vertically into 3 equal parts. The center section is white, flanked by 2 green sections. The green of the flag represents agriculture, while the white stands for unity and peace. Other national symbols include the national coat of arms, the national anthem, the national pledge, and Nigeria's national motto: peace and unity, strength and progress. In a country with more than 250 individual tribal languages, English is the only language common to most people, and it is the official language of Nigeria, used in all government interactions and in state-run schools. Unofficially, the country's second language is Hausa. In northern Nigeria, many people who are not ethnic Hausas speak both Hausa and their own tribal language. Hausa is the oldest known written language in West Africa. The dominant indigenous languages of the south are Yoruba and Igbo. Prior to colonization, these languages were the unifying languages of the southwest and southeast, respectively, regardless of ethnicity. A mix of African languages and English called Pidgin is also common throughout southern Nigeria. It basically uses English words mixed into Yoruba or Igbo grammar structures. Pidgin originally evolved from the need for British sailors to find a way to communicate with local merchants. Today, it is often used in ethnically mixed urban areas as a common form of communication among people who have not had formal education in English. Nigeria has the largest population of any African country. As of 2023, Nigeria's population was estimated at more than 222 million people. It is also the most densely populated country in Africa. nearly 1 in 6 Africans is a Nigerian. Despite the rampages of AIDS, Nigeria's population continues to grow at about 2.6% each year. The Nigerian population is very young. Nearly 45% of its people are under age of 14. Modern Nigeria is a patriarchal society. Men are dominant over women in virtually all areas. While Nigeria is a signatory to the International Convention on Equality for Women, it means little to the average Nigerian women. Women still have fewer legal rights than men. According to Nigeria's penal code, men have the right to beat their wives as long as they do not cause permanent physical injury. In general, labor is divided in Nigerian society along gender lines. Very few women are active in the political and professional arenas. In urban areas, increasing numbers of women are becoming involved in the professional workforce, but they are greatly outnumbered by their male counterparts. Women who do manage to gain professional employment rarely make it into the higher levels of management. However, women in Nigeria still play significant roles in the economy, especially in rural areas. Women are often expected to earn significant portions of the family income. As a rule, men have little obligation to provide for their wives or children. Therefore, women have traditionally had to farm or sell homemade products in the local market to ensure that they could feed and clothe their children. The division of labor along gender lines even exists within industries. Nigeria is located in West Africa, along the eastern coast of the Gulf of Guinea and just north of the equator. It is bordered on the west by Benin, on the north by Niger and Chad, and on the east by Cameroon. Nigeria covers an area of 356,669 square miles, or about twice the size of California. Nigeria has 3 main environmental regions: savanna, tropical forest, and coastal wetlands. These environmental regions greatly affect the cultures of the people who live there. The dry, open grasslands of the savanna make cereal farming and the herding a way of life for the Hausa and the Fulani. The wet tropical forests to the south are good for farming fruits and vegetables. Main income producers for the Yoruba, Igbo, and others in this area. The small ethnic groups living along the coast, such as the Ihaw and the Kalabari, are forced to keep their villages small due to lack of dry land. Living among creeks and lagoons and salt marshes makes fishing and the salt trade part of everyday life in the areas. The Niger and Benue River come together in the center of the country, creating a Y that splits Nigeria into 3 separate sections. In general, this Y marks the boundaries of 3 major ethnic groups, with the Hausa in the north, the Yoruba in the southwest, and the Igbo in the southeast. There are 3 main religions in Nigeria. 50% of Nigerians are Muslim who live mostly in the south. 40% are Christian who live mostly in the north. 10% are indigenous religions such as those native to the Igbo and Yoruba ethnicities are in the minority. There are 3 types of marriage in Nigeria, which are religious marriage, civil marriage, and traditional marriage. A Nigerian couple may decide to take part in one or all of these marriages. Religious marriages, usually Christian or Muslim, are conducted according to the norms of the respective religious teachings and take place in a church or a mosque. Christian males are allowed only 1 wife, while Muslim men can take up to 4 wives. Civil official weddings take place in a government registry office. Men are allowed only one wife under a civil wedding, regardless of religion. Traditional marriages usually are held at the wife's house and are performed according to the customs of the ethnic group involved. Most ethnic groups traditionally allow more than one wife. Nigeria, especially in Igbo-Ora, has a high birth rate of twins. There is no proven scientific explanation for the high rate of twins in Igbo-Ora, a city of at least 200,000 people, 135 kilometers south of Nigeria's largest city, Lagos. However, many Igbo-Ora believe it can be traced to women's diets. Nigerians call the firstborn twin as Taiwo, while the second one is called Kehinde. In Nigeria, the family is extremely important. The Nigerian families are not the epitome of indestructible meat, but there is still that strong family bond which is mostly described by the saying that blood is thicker than water and fueled by strong societal traditional norms. Most Nigerian households consist of a mother, father, and children, and many include grandparents, uncles, and aunts as well. Food plays a central role in the rituals of virtually all ethnic groups in Nigeria. The ingredients in traditional plates vary from region to region. 010 means that you should skip breakfast and dinner, but you have to eat lunch, while 101 means that you should eat breakfast and dinner but you have to skip lunch. Nigeria's education system encompasses three different sectors: basic education, senior secondary education, and tertiary education. According to Nigeria's latest national policy on education, basic education covers 9 years of formal schooling consisting of 6 years of elementary and 3 years of junior secondary education. The wildlife of Nigeria consists of the flora and fauna of this country in West Africa. Nigeria has a wide variety of different habitats, ranging from mangrove swamps and tropical rainforests to savanna with scattered clumps of trees. According to the World Resources Institute, Nigeria is the home to 4,715 different types of planetary species. Over 550 species are breeding birds and mammals.
Ibon na lumilipad.